Hi, and welcome to another edition of Scott Nagle Tennis. This is Scott Nagle, bringing you a tip today from Dublin, Ireland, about a mile away from the Guinness factory at a public court. Today's tennis tip is going to be on when to use and how to hit the short angle forehand. Let's have a look at that now. The technique we'll be using today to hit the short angle forehand can also be used for several other shots and can be found in some of my other tips at Scott Nagle Tennis. The wide angle forehand is ideal for both singles and doubles and brings the ball and thus your opponent or opponents very wide off the tennis court. Let's consider some of the best opportunities to use a wide angle, short angle forehand. This shot is ideal for attacking a weak second serve, or for returning a wide serve to your forehand from your opponent. It's also an ideal passing shot both in singles and doubles, and for drawing your opponent very wide off the court, for example a right-handed player, pulling them very wide off to the forehand, leaving the backhand side of the court wide open for your next shot. Now that we have some idea when to use a wide angle forehand, let's look at some of the technique of how to produce this shot. One of the first steps is to set up your target near the single sideline between the net and the service line. Today we'll use a pyramid of 4 tennis balls for our target. We'll demonstrate this shot today for right-handed players. Now that we've set up our target, we want to know where to stand to learn the basics of this shot. We're going to stand inside the doubles alley next to the service sideline, and we're going to put our right foot more forward than our left foot. Drop the ball out in front of your body or have somebody throw you the ball. Make sure the ball is out in front, and it's also a good idea to have the ball coming from the angle with which you're hitting. So a cross-court ball in the same path that I'm going to hit the ball. If you have a clay court, you can diagram on the court with a line where you want the angle of the racket to be at with contact with the ball. Today we're using just a line of sticks on this court to represent the angle we want our racket when striking the tennis ball. Now that your feet, your ball feed, and the line on the court is situated, it's time to hit a few shots. Not to be concerned with the ball going in at the moment, just creating the angle of the shot that you want. Let's have a look. If you kept your wrist back throughout the forward swing and at contact, as well as lined up the racket face with the diagram that we drew on the court, your ball should have gone in the direction that you were aiming. Let's have a look. Now it's time to consider how to make this shot land inside the court. The key weapon for this will be increasing the amount of topspin you use. There's a couple of different ways you can hit this shot. One includes a very high follow-through but not a lot of power. Today we're going to look at the shot with a modified follow-through, so a lower follow-through and able to hit the ball a little bit harder, increasing the spin and bringing the shot inside the court. Let's have a look. In order to create the modified follow-through, it's a great idea to imagine swinging in the path of a horseshoe or an N shape, and this will help you increase your power and your spin without creating too much trajectory in the ball and allowing that ball to go in rather than going too far. Let's have a look at the swing. It's important to use a lot of topspin when creating a short angle forehand. The technique used to create this spin is called Rito Deviation. What we want to imagine is your arm turning off a faucet as you're striking the ball and as you're swinging upwards and through your shot. Let's have a look at the racket path in using radial deviation. You can see that my arm will rotate as I lift my racket and arm up. Now that you've hit a few of these shots from closer in the court, it's a good idea to start moving your way back and also experimenting with different stances, such as the right foot forward. You could also hit this shot with an open stance, could even hit this shot with your left foot forward. The key is to start progressing your way back and even wider in the court to be able to create this shot in a variety of situations. Today I covered just a few of the times when we would use a short angle forehand and some of the basic technique used in hitting that forehand. It's a great idea to practice this with warming up with a doubles partner or anytime you're doing short tennis or mini tennis. Stay tuned for more tips from Scott Nagle and good luck.